last Saturday, Donna, was one of the most amazing memorial services I've ever been to. Last Saturday, what a great moment to honor Pastor Ed, and I'm just so grateful for that. But we love you guys. We thank you for sharing the life of your loved one, whether it's a spouse or a father, grandfather, grandmother, whatever would be your case. We just thank you for their investment and your investment in the kingdom of God. We're just so grateful for you. We really recognize just some godly men and women who made a difference in this world. Men and women who fulfilled their God-given purpose. They influenced the lives of countless numbers of people. Men and women who lived well and finished strong. Families of those who just we've been praying for and grateful for. As I looked at the list this morning and just read through again, it includes pastors, missionaries, presbyters, evangelists, network officials, and it's easy to remember all of those that are on the list. I just think of the influence every one of those on the list has had in my life in some way. Whether it was shooting guns with Al Pacini, or whether it was just some amazing activities and just godly moments with some of the people on that list. But I don't have the time, verse 17, to recognize all of those, but I think it would be fitting today to remember especially a few of those and the influence of Jim Truern and Ed Bradford, both who served faithfully as secretary-treasurers of our network previous to me being in this position. I am constantly reminded of their faithful service. I see in the work I do, I see their hand or imprint on so many things. And throughout the years that I've been in this position and the things that they accomplished while they were in this position before me. I think of the many churches that Pastor Truern helped to get planted in Arizona. One of those churches include Life Point Church in Prescott Valley, where he helped Jody and I when we were just scared to death to plant a church. The network came to us and said, hey, would you guys consider planting a church in Prescott Valley? And I remember talking to Jim, said, Jim, I don't even know what that looks like. That was not even on my radar. I've never even thought, that's for crazy people to do things like that and plant churches. And he said, well, maybe you fit that category. Let's talk about it. And I remember having that conversation that he was there every step of the way to help us. He helped us raise money to recruit people. He helped us to purchase property. He came to our first service just to cheer us on. And it was there right in the front row, just being just the biggest cheerleader. And I imagine the things of Jim just really impacting. I think probably what would be fitting for the entire family. Is there anybody in the family that doesn't fish? That's what I'd like to know. I think everybody's a fisherman in the Truern family because of his influence. And I imagine all of you will never go on a fishing trip without having a story about him and some of the fishing excursions that you've been on. I remember going to a Royal Ranger Jamboree. I was a men's director at the time. He was a secretary-treasurer. I remember we both were going to the Jamboree, and we went early. He always went a day early, and I heard about that he would go a day early and go fishing, but he didn't often tell people where he was going. He just liked to be out there by himself, I think, sometimes. And but I picked my favorite spot at Willow Springs Lake up on the rim. And Caden and I went. He was probably maybe 5, 6 years old at the time. We hiked about halfway around the lake to this private cove where there's nobody at. It's way back there. Of course, I get back there, and there's Jim in a float tube out in the middle of the cove with a fly rod, fly fishing, with a big smile on his face. And I walked around the corner, and he said, hey, Lee, there's plenty of space. Come fish with me for a while. And never forget Caden, he had a little Mickey Mouse fishing pole, just a little kid at the time. So he's fishing off the bank with this Mickey Mouse pole, and he ended up catching the biggest rainbow trout that any of us have ever caught. I mean, it was huge, rainbow trout. I won't want to say how big because you might not believe me, but it took everything he had on that Mickey Mouse pole to reel it in. And Jim came in, he kind of floated in, he realized this might be a big fish. And when it came in, he started laughing, and it's like he couldn't stop. And I'll never forget how he just celebrated.